the game Arsenal playing right now. We know they struggle a little bit a couple of weeks back, but since the return of the captain, he been fantastic. He been brilliant. He's so inspirational, a very important figure on the team. I didn't watch our game, but I saw the result. It was not shocking to me because I saw the game against when Arsenal played on the weekend against Forest. The momentum, the way they played, the way they created a lot of chances, they couldn't give the opponent any room to breathe. There was no breathing room for the opposition team. I knew that spirit was going within the Champions League. They were taking it within, and we saw that scoring 5 goals against Lisbon away from home. That's a brilliant and fantastic results. So for me, it was not strange. I knew they was going to do it. The school is huge. Arsenal have been brilliant since the return of their captain. So there's nothing big about it. I know they were going to do it, and they did it. Good for them. They're picking up their form. They since Nottingham Forest game now in the Champions League. Let's see what's going to come up for them in the next couple of weeks. Arsenal have been instrumental. They've been so good since the return of the captain. So that result was not a bit. I mean, it was not surprising for me.
Thank you very much. Looking at the way they have been playing since the return of Martin Odegaard, they have been sensational. They have been incredible because the way they started the season, their build-up play was slow, and the attack was non-existent. There was no creativity in the middle of the park, and the performance was not there. They were playing like Stock City during those days, just hoping to score from set pieces. But since Martin Odegaard returned, their style of play has changed since then. They have been brilliant since Odegaard returned. There is a lot of creativity in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
So do you think Arsenal is a one-man team without Odegaard?
Well, that's why he's the captain for the team. Every team got their mass person. They got their key person, and he happened to be the one for Arsenal. So it's very important for him to return. Excuse me 1 second.
Yes, I'm sorry. Just hold on 1 minute.
I should cut Kelly down stuff. Oh my god. All right, sorry, but this guy kept interrupting me. So, like I was saying, Arsenal, Odegaard, I can't say Arsenal is a one-man team, but he's important on the team. At the time he was absent, Arsenal lost their footing. There was some winning games they were not creating, and he being a key figure on the team upon his return, and they were able to grab that footing. They're doing everything right. Everything is going well for them right now. So it was really timely for them. You know, he's an important person, but I don't think Arsenal is built on one individual or one person to determine their style of play or to determine their level of play, but by creating chances and scoring goals. Other players are there, but he's just extraordinary for them at the moment.
But what do you think, right? Because when Martin Odegaard, when he went out, because he was out for a few weeks, and the way Arsenal played when Odegaard was out, They were not brilliant. But, but since he returned, their performances have been good. Every game they play since he returned, they have dominated possession. But before then, they didn't play like that. So this is the reason why I asked you that whether they are a one-man team. Because when he was out, their performance was bad. But since he returned, they have been brilliant. So, do you think if he sustained injury in the future or this season, do you think that Arsenal will go back to the way they started the season? That is playing terrible football.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, they also won some good. They also won or played some good games without him. Um, the game against Liverpool that ended 2-2 all. He was not in that game, and Arsenal was. They played pretty well going against a league leader like Liverpool. The kind of football they're playing right now, and then going against them and coming out with that massive performance. They just lost their footing a little bit, and that happened to be at the time he was absent. He was injured. So now he's back and they grab their rhythm. They're playing well. He's instrumental, like I said from the beginning, but I don't think um, Arsenal is one man team. You know, he might he might sustain and go back on the sideline again, but that doesn't mean that Arsenal going to keep losing or they'll stop playing the kind of brilliant football they play right now. Arsenal is a team that we watched a couple of games for them last year when they was in form and Martin Odegaard was there. When they started losing, dropping points, and they lose the premiership to Man City. So everything had a bad time. They also have a good time. At the time he was away, it was a bad time for Arsenal. Now we all said it. Arsenal recovering from their last couple of games that lost, drawed, and all this stuff, and then they needed to put their footing together, and it happened at the exact moment where he came in. So it pretty pretty much people look at it to be like, oh, he's the main man. He was absent, that's why Arsenal was not playing. But don't forget to know that Arsenal played a couple of tough matches without him, and they still survived. So I'm speaking from that perspective. There's no way you can say Martin Odegaard is the absent of Arsenal team will make Arsenal to play bad football, and he present will make them to play good football. No.
All right, thank you very much. Fuad, let me come to you, right? On Tuesday, Arsenal, they destroy Sporting Lisbon 5-1. In that game, they were sensational. They were exceptional in that game, particularly Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. And Odegaard was out for a few weeks. The way Arsenal was playing, it was very terrible. They didn't play good football. They were not scoring. But since Odegaard returned, they have been scoring a lot of goals. They won the weekend against Forest 3-0. And on Tuesday, they defeated Sporting Lisbon, who have been in good form this season, particularly their striker Victor Gyökeres. He has been one of the best strikers this season in world football. But they managed to nullify him in that game. And scoring 5 goals away from home is not an easy job, particularly against a good opposition. Arsenal made Sporting Lisbon terrible in that game. So what do you think that the return of Odegaard, Arsenal is playing good football now? What is the reason? You are mute.
For that question. First of all, I want to take this time to say hi to all of our viewers, wherever you find yourself. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, you know, sometimes the way the game goes, I I mean, certain players on the team can be very, very important. Sometimes when they leave the pitch, I mean, that that momentum of the team sometimes it goes away. So sometimes when they come back, you see that momentum. So I think it's the same with Oliga. You know, in his absence, you saw the team, start to underperform, and now winning game satisfactorily. Sometimes they draw games, losing and everything. But when they come back, especially a key player on the team, you see their captain. So I mean, he's it to tells you that he's important on the squad. He's very, very important. He's an important player, and not only as a player, he's also there as as someone who the player look up to, who motivates the player. So that is also important. And sometimes if you got your team, you like your team so much. Like I know Arsenal fans, they love Arsenal so much. Sometimes injury is not really a bad thing. Once it's not a long injury, it's not really bad. Sometimes you just see the importance of the player on the squad. Sometimes you see, if you're absent on the team is causing any, leakage. If the coach is finding it difficult to get your replacement out of that, the coach will have to find out all of that. That's why you see some good coaches sometimes they just bench player or rest player for no reason. They just rest you and see, you know to see if sometimes there's injury. If you go, if you injure, how they going to replace you, all of that. So that's why you see Oliga return. I mean, the players are all motivated and they playing. I don't know how Sporting really, allow that amount of goals in the Champions League. To me was too high, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but so do you think that our result, Arsenal winning away to Sporting Lisbon 5 goals to 1, and Martin Odegaard, he was the best player on the pitch in that game. So do you think Arsenal is a one-man team?
No, I will not say that. I think I agree with what Yaya said. Arsenal can be a one-man team for. I mean, for the fact that the past season they've been performing. One man team can perform like that. They've been consistent for. I mean, couple of seasons now. They've been consistent. So it's not Arsenal is not a one-man team.
All right, thank you very much for
Yeah.
thank you very much. For me, that game, Arsenal, I have different view. When you look at Arsenal team, there are two players in our squad that Arsenal they don't have replacement for, and those two players are Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. If you watch Arsenal, whenever those two players they are on a pitch, the way Arsenal play is different whenever one of them or two of them are missing. So they are heavily relying on Odegaard and Saka. Creativity wise, they don't have any other player like Odegaard. And that's a problem. But if the coach can address that in a January transfer window, I think they still stand a chance to compete for the Premier League and the Champions League. But if he doesn't, then he has to maintain Odegaard fit for the rest of the season. If he fit, I think they are a force to reckon with because he's the best player on our team. But if he sustain injury, then Arsenal season could be over. So we now move on to the Real Madrid game yesterday. Real Madrid lost 2-0 to Liverpool at Anfield. Liverpool first win against Real Madrid since 2009 when Liverpool defeated Real Madrid in the Champions League 4-0. Since then, they lost 2 final against Real Madrid. So yesterday was their first win against Madrid since 2009. And yesterday, Liverpool, they dominated the entire game yesterday. They created the best chances in the game. They have more ball possession. And Gravenberg dictated play in a midfield. Gravenberg, he was excellent yesterday. He was incredible. He controlled the entire middle of the park yesterday. And Kylian Mbappe, he struggled yesterday. He missed a penalty. He didn't do anything yesterday. He was even pocketed by a young player who replaced Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was pocketed yesterday. And now looking at Mbappe, a lot of people expected him to be the one, to be that guy on Real Madrid. So, Fuad, let me come to you. What is your take on that game?
Yeah, sometimes the two teams, first of all, they are big team. Like we refer to them, the two teams are big team. So sometimes these things happen. Okay. But to me, Real Madrid wasn't that lucky. They wasn't that lucky to get a draw or to get a win against Liverpool. But they play. They had some chances that they didn't make use of. Like you talk about Mbappe, he had chances, but I mean it wasn't just ended the right way. So that's why I mean the result goes the way it went. But I mean Real Madrid they play well, but I mean they just could not give the needed result, and Liverpool had they too had chances, and then they managed to finish to finish to finish two correctly. Yeah.
Well, Fuad, let me ask you, because you said Real Madrid was not lucky. But in that game yesterday, it was not about luck. If you watch the game yesterday, Real Madrid, they were completely dominated. Mbappe, he had a disaster class yesterday, and Real Madrid dominated the game. Liverpool dominated the game from start to finish. So I don't think it's luck. Liverpool deserved to win that game because from the first whistle to the end, they dominated possession. They dominated everything. Passes in a key era, chances created. They dominated everything in that game yesterday. So what make you think it was luck that made Real Madrid to lose? You muted.
So what the point I'm making here is the chances you create, if you fail to give a positive result to those chances, so especially those ones that are very close, those ones that are very close, once you can give a positive result, then I mean sometimes yes, that's not your luck, but I mean the to me the play, their performance wasn't too bad, it wasn't too bad, yeah, like I would say. But Liverpool did well also, they play.
All right, thank you
Again, I
very
can't
much.
rule that out, yeah.
Thank you very much for Mr. Corner. Let me come to you. Real Madrid, they were terrible yesterday. They struggled against Liverpool. We all know Real Madrid have a lot of injuries right now. A lot of injury. The entire defense is out. Only one person in that defense is available. And yesterday, They struggle against Liverpool. Liverpool, they were sensational yesterday. They were incredible. They played some good football yesterday and they defeated Real Madrid 2 goals to nothing. So, what's your take on the game?
Well, for me, I saw this coming. Taking into consideration the injury crisis on Real Madrid, we got like 5 to 6 key players that on the sideline and going against arguably the best team in Europe this season, which is Liverpool. I knew that it was going to be a bad day for Real Madrid, but I'm a diehard Real Madrid fan. Um, I'm not a cry baby type to cry like somebody saying, "Oh, the team is having so much injury that the reason why we lost a team." That's why they call you a team. You should get replacement, not 100% possible replacement for those that are on the sideline, but you know we still went there as a team. Liverpool was sensational yesterday. They've been doing this since the start of this season, you know. So there's nothing was strange with that result. Madrid also had their moment. They had their moment when Liverpool was leading 1-0. Um, they had a chance of equalizing from the penalty spot, and Mbappe was terrible yesterday. He missed that penalty, and he style of playing yesterday. He couldn't change it after going on a contact a couple of times, and he said going the same way. So he was just he was just not good enough yesterday to get Madrid any chance of equalizing or even going on by winning. Liverpool totally dominated the match. They deserve the win. It could have been more than 2-0, and it could have also been a draw game yesterday. The turning point in that game was the time Mbappe makes that penalty. Crucial matches of such where you have been dominated by your opponent, and then you got a chance, you know, to squash the 1-0 lead to tie the score, and then you blew that away. It motivate it gave extra motivation to Liverpool, and we saw it right after that penalty miss. Madrid had a couple of chances going forward, going to Liverpool defense, but after that, they missed a bad penalty. Everything turned around. Again, we have said this over and over. Mbappe, you're a new player to Real Madrid. You know, you got to put yourself together. He got to put yourself together. You don't have to impress people. I think that's why he's going through. The version of Mbappe that we saw in the World Cup that scored a hat trick, that's not Mbappe we're seeing at Madrid right now. You know, that's not Mbappe. Valencia was missing that game. Rodrigo was missing that game. Chomini was missing that game. A lot of players that on the sideline were missing again. Liverpool being the best team so far this season, and then you're going against them with a lot of injury players. It's obvious they're going to dominate you. They're going to, try to win you, and we saw it. We saw it. So there's no doubt that Liverpool was going to win, and I had to believe because all those factors I just mentioned. If Madrid were going to pull a win, it was going to be a plus for us. But Liverpool was the favorite going to that game yesterday.
Yeah. Let me go to Mbappe once more. Playing for PSG is different. Mbappe was the guy at PSG, but playing for club like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, and Manchester United, it comes with different pressure. A lot of players have gone to those clubs and they fail miserably, even though they were the guys at their previous clubs. But they made that move to Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, or Manchester United, and they failed miserably. And looking at Mbappe form, even though he has few goals this season, and most of them from the penalty spot, but his performance has been dreadful. So, do you think is the Real Madrid shirt is a heavy from Kylian Mbappe?
But I don't think so. Mbappe is a fantastic footballer. But what we need to take into consideration, and Mbappe need to take into consideration, his move prior to, I mean, his game prior to going to Real Madrid. Um, Last season with Paris Saint Germain, going to the Euro, his performances with the national team and present, it haven't changed. Mbappe is playing the same kind of football he played last season for Paris Saint Germain and the national team as well. So, um, Mbappe need to adapt. He need to work on his game improvement because we're not seeing it. It's about 2 years now. We haven't seen the version that I just mentioned to you. The last World Cup that Mbappe played, Mbappe was sensational. We saw the final against Argentina, scoring a hat trick in the World Cup final. Ain't got nothing to do with luck, especially going against Argentina. You know, so we expected Mbappe, or we expect him to put himself together. Forget about impressing impressing people right now. Work on your game, play a normal game, be yourself. I know there are a lot of stars in Madrid, and he probably want to be um, the marksman for Real Madrid, and that's a mistake he making if he thinking that way because we got a couple of players that already won everything with Real Madrid. They've been there for a couple of years. Like Vinicius Jr. You know, he been sensational. All the Champions League Madrid won with him. He been instrumental in all of them. So there's no way you're gonna overshadow Mbappe overnight. You got to prove yourself. Besides scoring goals, you got to be in the game. You got to be exceptional. You got to create chances. You got to take some player. You got to do a lot of things in the game besides scoring those half chances, um, penalty, taking penalty kicks, and all those stuff. So he was awful yesterday. He was terrible yesterday. And it been like that all season long for Mbappe since he went to Real Madrid. And again, this is Real Madrid, mind you. You can be whosoever. You go to Madrid, they give you the chance to prove yourself. If you can't, it's a whole different story. We saw it with Eden Hazard when he went to Real Madrid when he left Chelsea. We know the form he was in. And when he went to Madrid, he couldn't prove. They gave you so many chances. At a certain point in time, they would just keep you on side because they won't result. They won't result. So he making mistake by, you know, want to take the show, want to take over Madrid, want to be the main man of Madrid. No, it's not going to happen overnight. You got to prove yourself. You got to prove to the people that you are the main man by scoring goals, by winning trophies. How you going to win trophies when you lost a game a day, when you missing chances? We saw the El Clasico when he played against Barcelona. He was awful in that match. So, like I said, all season Mbappe being the same. But he's still there because they got to give him that chance. People know that he needs. It's a whole new environment for him. All those things are factors that might be playing on him. But from my perspective, Mbappe was not at his best when he already went to Madrid. From the national team, from the Europe, from the previous club last season, he was awful. He scored a couple of goals, but the French league and its La Liga is a two different league. The La Liga is richer over the French league. They are not, the same league. And you got so many talented and brilliant players in the club that you went. So you cannot overshadow those people and just, see the show. I think that's his problem, and he need to work on that. He need to be himself. He need to be the Mbappe that we know, and the Mbappe that was in the World Cup against Argentina in the final.
Yeah,
So
let me
we
let me
haven't
just
seen that version of him since he came to Real Madrid. You know? So
let me
he got
just
to work. He got to work with some of those things. He got to work with some of those things to see how best his game can improve so that it can be a better player for Real Madrid.
all right. Thank you very much. So, looking at Real Madrid position in the Champions League right now, they are 24 players in a group, and that's the last position for the playoff. And Madrid, they have played 5 games in the Champions League. They lost three. They lost to Lille of France. They lost to Milan, and now yesterday they lost to Liverpool. And they have 3 games to go. Their next game is not an easy game. Their next game is away at Atalanta. They won 6-1 in May week in the Champions League. And they are one of the best teams presently in Italy. They play some fantastic football. And after Atalanta, Madrid will be playing at home to Salzburg. And their last game will be away to Brest. So, but the way Madrid, the way they are playing right now, do you think they are on the brink of going out in the group stage of the Champions League?
Well, they still have a chance. Real Madrid still have a chance. Remember, this is Real Madrid we're discussing. They are notice of coming back out of nowhere. They are king. They are the king of coming back from a losing position or exiting from the group stage or whatever position. So they still got a chance. It's not over for Real Madrid yet. They got couple more games to go. Um, we're gonna see how it will pay out for them. Maybe some of their players can come back, even though they got a couple of players out. But this is Real Madrid. They can go back in the closet and say, "Hey, gentlemen, this is the last time we taking defeat. We got to get through this. We have seen it. When it happened, it won't be strange to people. We know Real Madrid. This is the Real Madrid that came from down against Man City. This is the same Real Madrid um, with Chelsea. This is the same Real Madrid with Paris Saint Germain. They have conquered so
Mhm.
many bad moments for them. They have come from a terrible position and win game and even win trophies. So this is not over for Real Madrid. You know, Atalanta might be good as we know they are doing, but Madrid can still win them. Remember, this is Real Madrid. So to answer your question, Madrid still have a chance to go through this, and I sure they will.
All right, thank you very much for that. For let me get to you. Looking at Mbappe form this season, he has been a bit small this season. He has been terrible. And yesterday, he was so terrible in that game yesterday. His performance yesterday was disgraceful. He even missed a penalty. With all Vinny Jr., with all Rodrigo, the stage was set yesterday for Kylian to show to the world that he is the man. He is that guy. He is the main man at Real Madrid Football Club. But he was dreadful. He didn't do anything in that game yesterday. So, what do you make of his performance yesterday?
I, you know, like you are saying, I don't know why. Was it injury? How do you call it? Venny Junior and Rodrigo, are they out because of injury?
Yes, they are injured.
Oh, okay. So I Venny Junior. I mean, he's a key player on the team. So a player like that, when they are out, it gives the other player, I mean, some tough time. in grabbing the game and performing the way they should perform. But Mbappe actually need to catch the game. He needs to find himself, like Yaya was saying. He needs to find himself. I mean, not as that player who just want to score, but who wants to find a spot on the team. I mean, you see other team playing, you don't necessarily have to score, but your impact on the team, I think that's what important. And he needs to realize that. Other than that, it's gonna be too late for him. It might be too late for him. And if he continue to underperform, I don't think Madrid going to hesitate, not to sell him. But his performance, he just want to see, like, he want to see himself as that man on the team who wants to do everything. But I mean, it doesn't work like that. Especially you on a new team, you haven't been on the team, like
So
to say
so
you've
Paul, let
been
me
playing
ask
for
you
Real
this, right?
Madrid. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. As I said earlier, right? The
Mhm.
Mbappe, he was on Kylian Mbappe when he was on PSG. He was the me guy on
Yeah,
PSG.
sure.
He's the one
They look up
putting
to.
a shot on PSG. And looking at PSG, looking at Mbappe position on the French national team, he is the guy. Everyone adores him on the French national team. But going to Real Madrid, where players like Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, they have already won the Champions League twice. They have won La Liga. They already get credit in a bank. So going to Madrid, and we know he went as a free agent, but we all know signing fee, there were a lot of money involved.
Sure.
So going to Madrid, expecting him to be that guy in the squad. But at Real Madrid, the pressures is different. At Barcelona, the pressure is different. At
Hmm.
Bayern Munich, the pressure is different. At Liverpool Football Club, the pressure is different. At Manchester United, the pressure is different. We know Manchester United can be a case study. People like Angel Di Maria went to Manchester United, Alexis Sanchez, Paul Pogba, most of the big names, they went to Manchester United and they failed miserably. The same can be said for Real Madrid. People like Hazard. Hazard
Eden
was one of the
Hazard,
best
yeah.
players. I come
Eden
in, just
Hazard.
just hold on. Hazard was one of the best players in the world. He went to Real Madrid. He failed miserably. And do you think the pressure is getting to Kylian on Real Madrid?
The guy is under huge pressure. Huge pressure. So his advisor or whoever technical director, or his manager needs to really set him down and talk to him. Tell him his responsibility on the team right now. There's a saying I say in football that all the player on the team can score. Anybody on the team can score. Even the keeper can score. But everyone is now forced to score. Not everyone forced to score. So he's under pressure that, I mean, like, he's on the top, he needs to score. He was signed. They take into consideration the signing fees, they sign him with huge amount of money and all the kind of things. And so they gotta take responsibility of scoring, not only taking responsibility, but they gotta take responsibility to score. But like I said, he just needs to find himself on the squad and play according to the team. And then subsequently the goal's going to come. You're going to get the goal.
Yeah, but for
But he
listen,
putting himself under too much pressure.
so do you think the pressure is getting to him?
Yes, of course. This.
Because it's not just about scoring. If I look at Mbappe performance, a player can go through goal drought. Every striker can go through goal drought. Even Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo went through that. But your performance is what people looking at. When you are going through tough time as a striker, like you are not finding the back of the net, people look at your performance. And the performance at Real Madrid for Kylian Mbappe is lacking. His performance is dreadful. So this is one of the reasons people are criticizing Mbappe. But let me ask you this. Real Madrid, they have 3 more games to go. They are 24th place in the Champions League group stage. That's the last spot for qualification because the first 8 will qualify automatically for the last 16. And from 9th place to 24th place, they will go for playoff. And looking at Madrid, their last 3 games, the first of the 3 games is against Atalanta. And Atalanta, they are a good side. They play good football. They are one of the best teams in Italy, and they are in good form. After Atalanta, they will be at home to Salzburg. After Salzburg, Madrid will be away to Brest. So looking at Madrid performance this season, both in La Liga and the Champions League, they have been performing below par. So do you think Madrid will fail to qualify from the group stage of the Champions League if performance remain the same?
Okay, before I come to your question, uh, you know, that's why Mbappe is getting everything wrong because he's not only focusing. That's why his performance, is not outstanding because he's not focusing on performance. He's focusing on scoring. So once you focus on scoring, you're not going to understand your performance. So that's why he getting things twisted. So
So,
to your question, yeah, to your question, right now it's too early. It's too early to decide or to determine whether Madrid going to qualify or not. It's too early to determine that. Looking at Madrid track record, they've been, they've been coming back, coming back, coming back. Even just recent last season, we saw, how they came back from winning from one game to another. Even though sometimes they get a draw, they get a loss, they still come back, and win a game. So, I mean, we still looking at the injury list. Maybe if the injury list continue to reduce, player continue to come back, the performance going to increase, and we're going to see a different Real Madrid in subsequent time.
thank you. And thank you very much for Liverpool yesterday. They were incredible. They were sensational. They play Real Madrid off the park. And I just want to look at one player in the Liverpool squad, even though people like Gravenberg and McAllister, they ran the entire Mayfield. But there's a young star that played the left fullback yesterday, Conor Bradley, in the absence of Alexander Arnold. And this kid, he was brilliant yesterday. He was my man of the match yesterday because the way he pocketed Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe couldn't find answer to get past this kid. This is the reason Mbappe, he had a world-class stinker yesterday. This kid pocketed him. So Fuad, what do you make of this kid performance yesterday against Kylian? You muted.
Who is it? Me?
No, as Fuad. I said Fuad.
The Liverpool actually perform. They really, really do perform, the entire team, because I mean, they have possession, they have more corners, they have more on target, they have more off target, and everything. So I mean, his performance was kind of splendid, especially a player like Mbappe. I mean, he's kind of difficult to just contain, for the use of my own word, to contain it. I mean, it's kind of difficult to contain him, but for the fact that he was able to contain Mbappe, I mean, he was excellent, man.
Thank you very much, Fuad.
Yeah.
Mr. Connor, let me ask you a similar question. Conor Bradley yesterday for Liverpool, he had a brilliant game against Mbappe, excuse me. He had a brilliant game against Mbappe yesterday. And he made Kylian to have an atrocious game yesterday. So looking at that kid performance against Kylian yesterday, what do you make of his performance yesterday?
Well, like you said, uh, he was my man of match as well. That kid he's really good. I know Mbappe is kind of not performing right now. To see that kid going against him on a one-on-one situation, couple of times, and he was able to win Mbappe in every single attempt that Mbappe made to go against him. He was excellent, and he's a good player. He's a good player. Leaving Joe Gomez on the bench and asking of Trent Alexander-Arnold and bringing Colonel Brackley is he got to get something. He got to get balls, you know. So the case is good. His performance was really good yesterday, and this is why I was saying that Mbappe is I don't know how to say this, but he's really not doing good for himself in the absence of Vinicius Junior because people been saying all along that Mbappe like to play from the left wing, and he had the perfect chance yesterday to play from anywhere that he want to play from because he was a lead man off from, you know, and he didn't do nothing. You know, the expectation of people that Mbappe was going to be excellent despite Liverpool dominance, you know, continue dominating again. He was still going to get his movement. He was still going to take on players and create some chances. But it was not in the case of that. They kid pocketed Mbappe through all the match. This is a clear indication that there's no way Mbappe level is around Vinicius Junior right now. We saw the absence of Vinicius yesterday. Vinicius can be in a game and Madrid is struggling, but once those kind of chances that Mbappe had yesterday to take on play, or if Vinicius is in that position, it's different. We saw it yesterday, you know. So the kid, he's good. He's a excellent player. Liverpool didn't miss since Alexander Arnold left. They haven't missed him yet. You know, people might be saying, "Oh, he's not there to create those chances," but in terms of defending and playing that role very well, the kid he's been doing his job and he's really good. I gave him the man of the match, if you ask me. So there's no doubt about that. He overplayed Mbappe through all the match.
Yeah, thank you very much. For me, I think Kylian Mbappe, he just need to do the basic because as a footballer, when you are struggling to find fun, you are struggling, you have to do the basics. Just go back to the basic. That's all he needs to do. Go back to the basics. Simple. Then you can regain your form. So we now move on to Manchester City against Feyenoord. Manchester City drew against Feyenoord 3-3 on Tuesday. And City started the game brilliantly. They took the lead on the stroke of halftime through Erling Haaland from the penalty spot. After the break, Manchester City, they increased their lead through Ike Gundogan in the 50th minute. 3 minutes later, Erling Haaland scored a third goal to make it City 3, Feyenoord 0. Everything was going on good. Manchester City, they were in complete control. They were dominating the entire game and they were chilling, they were cruising. But in the 75th minute of the game, Guardiola once again, he had a shocker. He played a short bypass to the goalkeeper and Hash Musa from Feyenoord capitalized on a mistake to make it 3-1. Few minutes later, Feyenoord scored their second goal through Jimenez. And at that point, Man City, they were terrified. And in the 89th minute, Feyenoord completed a comeback when David Hanko scored the third goal to make it 3-3. City once again, they capitulated, having been in a lead 3-0, less than 20 minutes to go. And this is the first time in the history of the Champions League for a team to let a 3-goal lead slip with less than 20 minutes to go. So looking at City so far, their last 6 games, they have not won any of their last 6 games or competition. And this is their first draw in their last 6 games. Once again, they crumble under pressure. 3 goals lead, and they give it away. And at this moment in time, City, they are dreadful. And on Sunday, they will be playing Liverpool in the Premier League at Anfield. And I think that will be the final nail in the coffin. Because looking at City performance, there is no confidence, there is no leadership on our pitch. Because it doesn't matter if you are 3 goals up, any team with less than 20 minutes to go, you don't give away the 3 goals. And they capitulated. So, Mr. Corner, let me ask you, looking at City, having capitulated on Tuesday against Feyenoord, and they have a crucial game on Sunday in the Premier League title race against Liverpool at Anfield. What do you make of the game on Tuesday, their performance on Tuesday?
Well, City, we just
Yeah, excuse me, just hold on 1 second.
so it's just a clear indication that what we said before about City, everything had a bad moment, everything had bad season. You know, I saw the first 2 goals in City match, and I said this game was done. City was getting back on a winning way. And at the end of the game, when I checked my phone, saw the notification that it was 3-all. I was saying, what? That was terrible from City. We know they've been terrible the past couple of games, but the one with those the Champions League result, the Champions League game result with Feyenoord, I think that should be their worst, because it was a time for them to get back on the winning way, get that winning spirit, erase the notion of going 5 games, without a victory, lost in 5 games straight in a row, and then you blew that away in the last 20 or
Now 15 minutes.
15 minutes in the game. That was a terrible performance from Man City. And what shocked me the most when the coach, the manager, in his post-match conference, when he said, "I gave him my players back, and you'll see the real City." Really? Are you serious? Coach that Pep Guardiola. How can you say that? Even if you're struggling, you got injury players, you're not the one to go cry, baby. Why are you crying, baby? How many starting players on your team that are on the sideline? The only person we know right now is Rodri.
Rodri, that's it.
That's the only person we know. So why would you say wingers? You say Jack Grealish was there, Kevin De Bruyne was there, Savinho was there, Eddie Haaland was there, Silva was there,
Ike Godegan.
So why are you crying, baby? It just showed the limitation of Pep Guardiola. I know people will come and say what I'm saying, it doesn't make sense. He's a coach that have won a lot of trophies, but take a good look at his track record. Dude, this dude was Barcelona. Barcelona had all the great players. When the guy started aging, he left. He went to Bayern the same way. Bayern, his dream was to win the Champions League with Bayern. He couldn't, and he left. All right? Now he was City. City having a bad time. Let's see what's going to happen. We haven't seen this guy take a struggling team and go through with them. It haven't. So what makes you a good manager? What makes you a good manager? You might be good when you got good players, but when the bad time comes, take a take a look at the city squad right there, their current team. How many? Not let's say naturally a footballer when you hit the age of 30, you're already going down. You're not going back up. Only few players will see at that age and their performances change. They start, scoring goals or doing too many stuff on the field of play. But look at Bernardo Silva. Those are engines on City team. Kevin De Bruyne, their goalkeeper. Look at those guys. Look at Stone. Look at them. So, what can you do as a good manager? You stay healthy, possession of good weapons, put them together, and put your shit back together. I'm sorry for the expression, but that was very naive of Pep Guardiola to come out to say, give him a players, and you see the real City. Seriously, but he got to put himself together because you're going against a league leader right after the Champions League awful performance. You're going against Liverpool and at Anfield. So what will you say? You will go and say it again. Oh, I don't have my player. Those are cheap excuses. Those are cheap excuses that no Sun soccer pundits will listen to you on that, or no Sun soccer fan will listen to you on that. Take a look at Madrid. Madrid is the one that should be seeing those kind of team because they got a lot of starting players that are on the sideline that have not playing, and you've been like that for so long. You just got one person. You just got one person out of your team. Why are you crying, baby? So I don't see City coming back anytime soon with that mentality because those are things that you got to work on. This man is out. Get it at the back of your head. Know the fact that he's not coming right now. His season is over. So do work with the material you got. Work with the players that you got. Why be crying? Concentrate on what you can do to stop, conceding goals, to start, conceding, start receiving defeat or draw, dropping points. Concentrate on building your team. You're a manager. Come up with new strategy. Come up with new solution for the problem. But he's not. Instead, he's there, doing the blame tactics. So that was horrible from City, and that was horrible from our manager. You muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Looking at our performance this season, and they have a lot of aging players in our squad. And people like Ike Godegan, Bernardo Silva, and Kevin De Bruyne, they have been the main guys in the middle of the pack, and now they are aging. And they continue to perform badly. They have been terrible for the past 2 months. Do you think Pep Guardiola can turn it around? Can he turn his season around?
Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he have to. To prove to people that you're a good manager, you got to do it. You got to find means to turn the season around. Because crying on one person will not help you. He's gone for the season. So he need to put himself together, work with the players that you got, and then turn your season around. You still got options to go in the January transfer, and I know Pep Guardiola going to do it because he cannot continue with this group of players and succeed this season. He already showed. We have seen it in a couple of games in a row, and then he verbally said it that because he's not performing based upon his injury players. How many starting players on the sideline with the exception of Rodri? You just mentioned, and I just said the same thing. You just proved me right. Goodigan, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. Those guys are the one that determine the pace of Man City game, and they are aging. They are formed draft completely. If you watch it again, look at Godigan. He doesn't stand most of the games City play this season. He either come from the bench or he's substituted after like 60, 65 minutes. Bernardo Silva don't have that pace anymore. He doesn't have that energy. The same with Kevin De Bruyne. So your players draft form, you're not looking at that aspect, but you're shifting blame on injury, missing players, or your players are on the sideline. That doesn't make sense. Work with what you got and prove to the world that you're a better coach. Prove to the world that you're a better coach. Solve your problem. Okay, we agree. You got injury player. What can you do, to turn your season around? Because their season is going bad. With that current City team, any good team in the Champions League in the knockout stage, you're going to knock them out. We're seeing it. We saw it against Sporting. Now, against another team, Final. How good is Final? We're not taking into consideration Rodri is missing. You got injury player, but with the standard of Man City, you shouldn't be dropping points against Final and come crowd of injury. If you do that against Real Madrid, you do that against your city rival, you do that against Chelsea, you do that against Liverpool, then we'll try to look at it from that perspective. But not from this point. You playing against Final, and then you crying baby that you lost player. Your players are on the injury on the sideline. That's the reason why you're not performing. No, dude, put your stuff together and get the people job done. You're not doing the right thing. You just prove to us that you only succeed when you got the rightful player. And being a good manager, you should be able to work with all sorts of players. Turn bad player to a good player. Solve problem. What's your plan B? You go into the season, you got it at the back of your mind that injury may come in, suspension may come in. So you got to get plan B. When those things happen, your main man is out. What can you do to stop your team from losing, to stop your team from dropping points? We're not seeing that. We haven't seen that, and you don't want to talk about it. So let him shut up, do the people job, work with the players that you got. Those are the players you got right now. Work with them and do the right thing. So it's difficult for him to turn his CC around now. Yes, that question is difficult. When it happened, it won't be surprised because City is a big team, but it's a big challenge to him as it stands.
Okay, let me just ask you that question. Looking at City, their form, the way they have declined under Pep Guardiola, this is the first time they have declined like this. And people like De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, those guys, they are not the same like before because of their age. And Guardiola, looking at the record from Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and now City. On Barcelona, he had people like Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Samuel Eto'o, Gerard Piqué, Puyol, and so on. And in his time at Barcelona, he won the treble, he won La Liga. But after he lost to Real Madrid, when Mourinho reached 100 points in La Liga, Pep Guardiola decided to quit because he saw Madrid, the way Madrid was coming, the way Madrid was building their team. He resigned. He sat down for like a year. After that, he went to Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich won the treble before Guardiola. So the squad he met, it was the best squad in Europe. But after 3 seasons at Bayern Munich, he left Bayern Munich. So he didn't do a rebuild at Barcelona. He didn't do a rebuild at Bayern Munich. So looking at this Manchester City squad, in my opinion, they need a rebuild. A lot of the players, they are done. De Bruyne is done. Gundogan is done. Ruben Diaz, John Stone, Kyle Walker, they all passed their best. So they need a total rebuild. Can Pep Guardiola, can he do a successful rebuild that he has never done in his career?
Well, this is a question every one of us asking, and we need answer for that because we haven't seen him um, do any of such. So, like I said earlier, it's a big challenge to him. Let him stop the cry, baby. Take into consideration the aging player on your current squad. You need you need to do something about it. He's somebody who always won good player at his disposal to get a good result. Now, those players it's normal, it's natural. Players will age, there will come a time, players will be aging and you need to work with what you got.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You know, you need a time to do that. So Pep Guardiola, until he can prove us wrong, from my opinion, he's just a coach that work with, good players and get result. I don't think he's the type of coach that can rebuild, that can bring up players, that can take a struggling team uh, to greatness. I haven't seen that from him. You just mentioned with Barcelona, and Barcelona had that breed of player when he was there. The same with Bayern Munich. And when he went to Man City had a lot of quality players as well. You know, so all those teams his track record, they already had a brilliant teams that they already, had achieved. They was achieving, they was performing when he took over. He never took a struggling team.
Yeah.
He
Like
don't even want
Arsenal
to
or
take it.
Manchester United. Yeah.
No, he haven't. Like Liverpool. Liverpool was struggling when when Georgian club came in. Look at the present coach was Liverpool, Alan Slot. You know, Liverpool didn't. They was some of their best last season when they came in. It was just one signing they did, you know, and we're seeing the result of it. So until Pep Guardiola can do that, I don't consider him to be that type of coach that can rebuild, that can do something. So
All right, thank you very much. For let me come to you. Um, City on Tuesday, they were cruising against Feyenoord. They were chilling. They were 3-0 up until the 75th minute when Guardiola he made a terrible mistake and Hash Musa capitalized on it to make the game 3-1 in the 75th minute. At that stage, any good team, you should still be able to maintain the result or positive result in that game. You should be able to win that game as an experienced team. But City, they crumble under pressure in the last 15 minutes of the game. They gave away 3 goals to settle for a 3-3 draw. So, Fuad, what do you make of the performance yesterday? Excuse me, on Tuesday. You muted. You muted.
Try to unmute me.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, City, I don't know what is happening to them, but they need to go back and reset or readjust. They need to readjust that whole team to understand what is the problem. Because from the beginning of the game, the first half, they had excellent performance. They performed very well, but only to go look the last 25 to 15 minutes in the game. I mean, they were almost losing the game. So they really need to re readjust the team to understand what is happening, because see of recent how many games they've been losing. They just lose to they just lost to Tottenham. Before Tottenham game, they lost to Brighton. They lost to Sporting. They lost to Bournemouth. So I mean, of recent they keep losing. I mean, what is happening? So I think That's what we need to know. What is happening? What
So
is
what do
happening
you
to
think? What do
Manchester
you think
City?
they crumbled yesterday? What was the reason that they capitulated yesterday on
Ah,
Tuesday? Excuse me.
I mean, because that, like I said, they were actually playing, but all of a sudden they I mean they 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 just started to fire not just started, I mean, getting a goal. Do fire not keep putting pressure on them. Of recent, they started putting fire not put immense pressure on them until they got their 3 goals, and they got the 3 goals. The game was already, at an end. So, are you telling me if we had like 5 to 10 more minutes in the game, fire not would have getting another goal to win the game because of the pressure? So, like you guys said before me, the previous speaker before me said, I mean, the brain behind the teams, the brains behind the team. I mean, they are kind of getting tired,
Yeah,
and
you have Rodri,
yeah,
excuse me, Ike Godogan, Kevin De
Gundogan,
Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, and the rest of the others. I mean, they are maybe they are dropping pace and maintaining it in the game for that long. I mean, that these are things they resort to.
So do you
These
think
are
the
things
squad
they
is old?
resort to.
This is why this is happening. Is
Yeah,
it
it
because
could
of
be
the
a
age?
major, it could be a major reason, especially the guys who are the brain behind the squad right now. So it could be a major reason.
All right, thank you very much. Um, Now we go to the Barcelona game. Barcelona won 3-0 on Tuesday. Robert Lewandowski scoring 2 goals. Danny Olmo scoring the other goal. And I just want to talk a little bit about Robert Lewandowski. So on Tuesday, he scored his 100 and 101 goal in the Champions League. He is the third all-time goal scorer in the history of the Champions League. And in this generation, Robert Lewandowski, he is beyond Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. He is the third all-time goal scorer in the world. That is total goal score. This guy, he has scored more goals than Luis Suarez. He has scored more goals than Karim Benzema. He has scored more goals than even people that played before him, Thierry Henry. That a lot of people considered to be one of the best strikers in his generation. Scored more goals than the Brazilian Ronaldo. And to be there on that list, that's a great achievement, particularly behind Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Because Cristiano Ronaldo, he scored 140 goals in the Champions League. Messi, 129 goals. And now Robert Lewandowski, at the age of 36, still playing like a 25-year-old, scoring goals for fun. So, Fuad, are you there? Mr. Connor, you there? Okay, he's scoring goals for fun. Nobody is responding. He's scoring
Yeah,
goals for fun.
yeah.
Okay, so looking at Robert Lewandowski, tier all-time goal scorer in the history of the Champions League, tier all-time goal scorer, tier all-time goal scorer in world football this generation. Only beyond Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi score more goals than Luis Suarez, score more goals than Karim Benzema, score more goals than great strikers before him, like Ronaldo Nazario and Thierry Henry. So, before we go to the team performance, how do you look at Robert Lewandowski in general?
Well, he's a generational striker. He was just unfortunate um, to play the with the generation of Cristiano Ronaldo and the like of Messi, Lionel Messi. Those two guys overshadowed Lewandowski. We saw him at Borussia Dortmund before going to Bayern Munich, now he's Barcelona, and even on his national team. He been he been that kind of striker that that scoring goals and been scoring consistently. And this is how you know a good striker, especially his competitor Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. It had just been unfortunate, you know, time for him when those guys were at their peak and he was there as well. But again, you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit. Those two guys, I don't think we're gonna have a footballer like them in the next uh, couple of in the next 10, 20, or 30 or even 50 years. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. So coming number three to them in terms of scoring in the greatest club even in the world, which is the Champion League. That's incredible. That's incredible record for him. And he's still there, he's still performing, he's still scoring goals. So who knows? He might surpass any one of those guys or even both of them in terms of the Champion League because he's still playing the Champion League and both of them um, out of the Champion League. So we give him credit. He's a fantastic player that any good team would like to have him. And he has proven that from the past and all the clubs he played for. He left them with incredible record. Now he's with Barcelona setting another incredible record. So this guy, he deserved everything. You know, my only disappointment was he was not able to win a Ballon d'Or at any point in time. But
Yeah,
that's
he
a whole
was
difference.
in 2020. The French football decided to rob Lewandowski in 2020 because
Yeah,
the Ballon d'Or it was clear for Robert Lewandowski.
yeah, that's what I
We
say. It's a whole different story.
but they decided to cancel the Ballon d'Or award, even though football we have football going on, the Champions League final play, all the league ended, but yet they decided to cancel the Ballon d'Or because certain player couldn't win a Ballon d'Or that year, so they decided to cancel it.
Yeah. So this guy, like I said, he has every characteristic of a striker. Score goals for fun, assists, the type of goals he score. Um, he's just good. He's just a complete striker. So there's no doubt to see him doing what he's doing at Barcelona right now, despite his age. You know, so Robert, he's good. He's just good.
Yeah. So, what do you make of Barcelona performance in the game on Tuesday?
Oh
They
yeah,
won
that's
3-0,
that one.
comfortable
We
win.
we seen Barcelona performing several matches this season. We talked about it last week. The only problem I see with Barcelona, and they're kind of inconsistent with that the way they're winning games, the way they're playing. Because if you lost, win, 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 come and draw, win, 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 go and lost, that's inconsistency as compared to Liverpool. I look at both of them to be very outstanding this Champion League, this current season, but that have been Barcelona weakness, consistency. And I think this is happening because they got a whole bunch of inexperienced players in their current squad, a lot of young players. The young players, their performance is not going to be consistent. So if you see that happening, I think that could be one of the main reasons. Arguably, they should be the best or the most youthful team in Europe this season. They got a whole lot of young players on their team. Maybe a couple of years from now, they're going to be very, very outstanding if they keep those set of players together. So their performance was brilliant. It was expected um, as it is, but uh, my disappointment with them is the inconsistency of winning games. Because if you want to get to that level, you want to be at that level, you want to succeed like some other club, you got to be consistent with your winning. You know, we seeing Liverpool doing it. If they continue like that, I think Liverpool, for at the moment, they are the Champion League favorite. I was looking at Barcelona and Liverpool to be the two finalists for this season, but the inconsistencies of Barcelona, um, we might got to look at another view of it.
All right, thank you very much. Fua, are you there? Oh, I think Fua is gone. So, okay, so far, that's it today. Thank you very much for coming on. And tomorrow we'll be here again, 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow we'll be looking at the weekend preview in the Premier League and the Spanish La Liga. So before we go, please go to the description. You can subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. The link is there. It's the Football Heritage. Subscribe, like the channel. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and 11 p.m. Liberian Time.
Well, thank you. See you tomorrow.